18 pipe cleaners. Just wanted to come on and just record this time just to see how long these actually take. So I'm going to start adding my pipe cleaners. I add them directly to the Wreath Frame just a couple times. I usually start in a section, start in the middle, and then go to each, just right to the side of the middle. Again, right to the middle of the inner 2 rings, and then to each side of the outer 2 rings. So depending on how you count the rings, 1, 2, 3, 4. The first one goes in 1 and 2 in the middle, and then 3 and 4 just off center of the middle. Then what we'll do, we'll just get these all added, and then we'll meet you back for the next step. Up because I'm going to start my poof method. I always like to start with the center rings. So to begin, I'm just going to take my mesh, which I got from a local craft store. I like the colors. Push it to the side just a little bit. And what I did was I measured this masking tape 12 inches, so it's the size of a 12-inch ruler, which I have over here as well. And then what I did is I measured 10 inches so I can measure my poofs without having to use my ruler each time. But I can show you both ways just to get started. But as I move through to get the wreath done, I'm gonna just use my masking tape or my painter's tape. So to begin, I'm just gonna scrunch the ends here. Tuck that under. Ribbons out the way there in the background. I'm just gonna attach it to one of the ties in the inner ring. Twist it 2 or 3 good times. Make sure it's secure. And then if I was using the ruler method or using my ruler, to the where the tie is, measure over 10 inches, and then that's where I would gather it. Make my first poof. Okay, turn my wreath, and then come into the next set of ties on that inner ring. Again, I would first do my tape measure. Again, I would just come here to the end of my tape, find my 10-inch marker, and then gather it there in the middle where the 10-inch marker was, form my next poof. And attach it here in my center ring. And I like this method because, like I said, it just makes it go a little bit faster. Back to where I started. I'm just gonna go right over the top of where I began. Add a couple of good ties there. All right, so our inner ring is done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump to our bottom ring. So I'm just gonna gather, just fill up, not poofing it or anything, just gathering it real tight there. And I'm gonna jump to the bottom ring, my nearest bottom set of ties, and just put it just inside. Get that some tight twist there. Then we're going to do the same thing that I did to the top row and measure out my 10 inches for my 10-inch poofs. This time we're just going around the bottom of the ring. to where we started. Just gonna add it over top of where we jumped from the top to the bottom ring. Add a couple of twists there. Nice and secure. And then I'm gonna take this and cut off the end here, and I'm gonna tuck it under the wreath. Right under here, and then what I'll do is I'll clean that up with a zip tie later and cut off the excess. All right, so I have some mesh left over on this roll, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut all of this off in 10-inch strips. I'm going to cut me some 10-inch strips. Not sure how many we'll get, but we'll just go until the roll is all done. To the center so you guys can see. All right, what I'm going to do is just I'm going to make simple little rolls, nothing too fancy. I'm not looking to measure how wide my rolls are, so I'm just going to roll it in here. Yeah, roll, like I said, nothing fancy. Just come to the reform. I'm going to start at the bottom because again I want to make sure that my bottom row all receives a mesh roll. And again, I'm going to be shaping these as I complete the wreath. I'll shape these up. A little later. Now I'm not cutting the pipe cleaners just yet because I still have to go in and add some ribbon. love this pretty mesh. If I had two, then I'd have a poof in every single loop. So yeah, I have two more. So let's see, maybe right here. The last one. I'll place right here, right across from the other one. All right, this is how we're looking so far. I'm gonna go ahead and start adding my ribbon. I cut these this time. I usually cut my ribbon 12 inches, but I did them in 10 inches this time, and then dovetail the ends. So I have this. Do have 18 of these, and these are wired. And I got this ribbon from the dollar store. It's not wired, but I'm just adding it as like little accents to the main ribbon. So I know it's going to be a little floppy, but it makes a cute little accent either way. So I'm just going to have that. So I have that in green, and I have it in red. And we're just going to alternate. So I'm just going to grab ribbon, lay it on top of it like so. Scratch it in the middle, end it, and come to my first tie, tie it on. And so as you see, like I said, it's just like an accent. See that red blends in with the mesh very, very well. And because I'm done with these ties, I'm gonna just clip them off, cut them off with my little snipping tool here. Bend those under, so don't want them poking anyone. I'll take my ribbon and just form it out to a little X. I'll just let the reds just fall in the opposite direction, like so, like that. And we'll keep going on around until we get all of our ribbon added. I'm just going to alternate between the green and the red. ribbons. And we're gonna add Mr. Gnome here. So what I'm gonna do first is take 2 pipe cleaners and just join them together. I'm gonna wrap them around his body, under his bib. And I don't use glue because I don't want, like if someone wants to give this wreath as a gift and they want to take the gnome off, they're able to do so. So I'm just going to wrap it around his body. And I'll do the same thing around the bottom of his legs. Come back over, just turn around, maybe I'll just go around his stomach here. Let's see. Yep, I'll do that. I'm going to take a pipe cleaner and anchor this together, sort of like doing a braid, but we're going to wrap it all around the wire in the back. Okay, so this is what we have. Bring the wreath form back over. I'm just going to sit him down in the middle there. Hat will fall over the top. Okay, so his hat's going to fall over the top. I'm just going to flip him over and we'll tie him to the back. Bring this a little closer so you can see. Wrap it around. Let me turn my heat gun on because I want to add some hot glue to that. Make sure it doesn't slide around frame. I'm going to do the same to the bottom of Mr. Gnome here. Got him nice and in there. We'll go, let's see if we can turn this way so you can see. It's going to come under. And go all the way to the second. Come around. Go underneath this one and come up. And this that extra that we had in the middle, we'll just wrap that around this bar that's closest to it. And these just twist together. Pull them kind of tight there. Wrap this around the bar. We'll add some hot glue to it. And my gun finished heating up. And we are done. Let's see how it looks on the front there. So we have a nice little gnome Christmas wreath. Try to get a better picture for you. I may go back in and add some red and green ornaments, but we'll see. I kind of like the way he looks right here. Actually, I may tuck that around his bottom legs and tighten that up a little more. this way here. The legs are good and tight. There we go. And let Mr. Gnome sit right there in the wreath.